Colorado Representative Lauren Boebert hilariously embarrassed herself in the halls of Congress yesterday by screaming that there was a guy in the women's bathroom. But here's the thing. It wasn't a man, it was a woman, and a glimpse of the harassment to come. So before we give you more details, Cenk, I know you're excited about this story. How do you think this is gonna go?
Very poorly. But look, guys, there's a funny part of this story. There's two hilarious parts of this story. There's also a tragic part that I'm gonna get pretty, I don't know if I can say that word, pretty mad about. Let's put it that way. All right, go ahead, yes.
All right, well, according to Bloomberg congressional reporter Billy House, he witnessed the event and he said, I bear witness Representative Lauren Boebert bursting out of the House women's restroom during this afternoon's vote series, complaining to security personnel stationed in the nearby speaker's lobby of a guy in the bathroom. So according to an unnamed GOP lawmaker who spoke to the Daily Beast, Boebert was telling other members that she believed the guy was Democratic Representative Sarah McBride, telling them you shouldn't be here. McBride is a transgender and is not allowed to use the women's bathroom due to Mike Johnson's policy barring transgender people from using single-sex bathrooms or facilities at the Capitol. So House continued, intrigued, I stuck around to see who had emerged from the bathroom and saw just 4 other people leave, all women. Within minutes, however, Boebert was storming back from the House floor into the restroom, reinforced now by Representative Nancy Mace with her in tow. But alas, just seconds after this duo entered the bathroom, they came back out and went quietly back to the floor. Well, the woman in the restroom was not Representative McBride at all. So he says, a bit of bathroom vigilanteism maybe. I later asked Boebert what this was all about, noting I had heard her complain there was a guy in there. To her credit, she acknowledged it was a mistake. And she said, there was a rumor there was, but it wasn't true, she told me. Well, according to the Daily Beast, Boebert did apologize, and she actually admitted that she made a mistake. She said, I made an error regarding a mistaken identity. I apologized, learned a lesson, and it won't happen again. Okay. Everyone can grow, I guess. Well, Sarah McBride's deputy chief of staff and communications director told The Advocate that what happened wasn't that surprising. And this is, I think, what Cenk was alluding to earlier. She said, what a thoroughly predictable and predicted outcome. Representative McBride thinks people should get back to work rather than play bathroom police. Look, I guess this could happen to anyone, but for Lauren Boebert, this isn't even the first time this week that she mistook someone else's identity. According to the Spectator's Cockburn gossip column, Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert spent a decent chunk of Saturday's first America First Policy Institute ball trying to ingratiate herself with Susie Wiles. One small problem, she wasn't talking to Wiles, just a woman from the Midwest who looked kind of like her. So Boebert seems to have been going for some kind of viral moment with all of this. I feel like, she flew out of the bathroom, she grabbed Nancy Mace, and then she flew back in trying to make a moment out of it. She used she's made a career out of playing this sort of politics, right? That's very heavy on identity politics and light on actual legislation. What kind of legislation has Lauren Boebert actually pushed forth for her constituents in Colorado? So perhaps she thinks that this second Trump administration is her moment to shine. But until now, we haven't really seen very much from her. JR, let's start with you. Do you think she's just trying to stay relevant with this? Or do you think this stuff is going to keep working for her like it did in the past?
It's kind of odd because the way that she admitted to being wrong. So the first thought, of course, is, this is for attention. She grabbed Nancy Mace, who of course has made her latest, PR grabbing stunt based off of this, which she introduced the whole thing that ended up having Mike Johnson keep folks out of the restroom. That again, we're waiting for what to happen. She went screaming, tearing out of the bathroom like something is happening. So again, if there's any basis in reality or the concern about maybe being assaulted in a bathroom or the kinds of folks that have been brought up on charges of assault, maybe if I'm not gonna go so far as to some of the people that we've seen in certain clergy that have been assaulting people, we're not concerned about them going in the bathrooms. We're concerned about this because Nancy Mace brought it up. So maybe you would think she's bringing this up as some kind of a clout chase. But then she admitted and said there was a rumor that there was. Bro, you're the rumor. What are you talking about? A rumor that there was? You're the person who ran out of the bathroom screaming as if someone had snatched or reached at you somehow. So within a month or two, Lauren Boebert's gonna come and have a speech on the floor where she says, approval of Congress is at an all-time low, and have no realization that you're part of the problem, bro. We talked about Andy Ogles earlier and introducing this third-term bill only for Donald Trump. When are these folks gonna start working? When are we gonna stop running out of bathrooms, talking about someone's in there when people are trying to work? And when are we gonna stop introducing bills about third terms for the president that he knows aren't gonna go anywhere? They don't care about anything. They're constantly in campaign mode, because that's all they know how to do is lie and appeal to people to make them think that what they're saying means something. When is something concrete gonna happen? I mean, oddly, the concrete things that are happening are the stripping of people's civil rights and the taking of people's rights from women to minorities to even some of these MAGA voters. So, bro, I'm not sure where they plan on going with this, but it's been a few days and this is the clown show. How much worse could it possibly get? I honestly don't want to find out, but we're going to.
Yeah. Look, it's funny because she's such an idiot and it's so pathetic, right? The Susie Wiles story is hilarious. Susie Wiles, the chief of staff, she didn't even Google what she looks like. She goes up to a random person at this event. She's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And she starts kissing up. So Rando's like, Jesus. Why is this congresswoman kissing up to me? Oh, she thinks I'm powerful. No, you dumbass, that's somebody else. Go kiss up to them. And then she goes in the bathroom and she's looking for glory and fame. And she's like, oh my God, I think I've got a media moment here. I'm gonna smear someone and I'm gonna attack them in the bathroom. It's gonna be great. Hey, Nancy, come on, Nancy Mace, let's go have fun and get famous. Total idiot, right? So that's the funny part. Now the tragic part. Sarah McBride is a United States Congresswoman. They want her, I don't know if you've ever seen her. She looks like a woman, she is a woman. I know, right wing, I know. No, she's not, there's only two genders. You want her to go in the male bathroom? And I guarantee you if she goes in the male bathroom, they'll be like, what the hell's going on? There's a woman in the male's bathroom, this is crazy. And not just, okay, she's Sarah McBride, she's a US Congresswoman. But imagine in the real world, like if people you don't know, and you have a woman go into the men's bathroom, you're gonna get more freaked out. You have someone who is a man, in our opinion, and right wing, even if you say, oh yeah, they're not, but they certainly look like a man, right? Trans men, and you want them to go with beards, and you want them to go into the woman's bathroom? You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna be like, what the hell, there's a guy in the woman's bathroom. Just let him go to any bathroom. They like, stop being such jerks. This is why half the country is deeply concerned that you guys are hateful. Chasing people in bathrooms. It's disgusting. Let me add one other element to this story. Lauren Boebert accused a woman, and yet for right wingers, a biological woman, accused a woman of being a man because she was trying to catch someone who was trans in the bathroom. What are you doing? You're insulting all these people in 18 different ways, leading a witch hunt. This is why people don't like the right wing. Go ahead. Look, I'm the guy who said our side has to realize that the American people are not with us when we go to some extremes and say, no, the WNBA shouldn't get to make that choice. We should force them to take trans women, etc. And we can get into that fight, okay? But this is different. And when the right wing comes in and tries to actually make trans people in this country deeply uncomfortable, otherize them, drive this hatred towards them, and start hunting them in bathrooms, I'm going to tell you, not only is it deeply wrong, and not only does it start to separate Americans, and by the way, it is textbook culture wars. No, the left didn't start this one. Here we are, new day in America, Trump got elected. It's Lauren Boebert and the right wing starting this culture war issue. Why? They're about to pass a giant corporate tax cut again. So they don't want you talking about the corporate tax cut because we all hate the corporate tax cut. So they want you to think, oh, let's hunt trans people in bathrooms. Disgusting. But what's gonna happen is one day, one of these interactions is gonna get taped. And people are gonna see it and they're gonna be disgusted at you. They're gonna say, what are you doing? chasing people in bathrooms. And then you're gonna lose the American people, and I can't wait for that. No, we draw our line here for sure. Whatever else you agree on, leave them alone in bathrooms, you monsters.
You can hold out hope, Cenk. I'll have to wait. I have to see it before I believe it. Everything that you would think, we got to the point where they would go, you know what, I've had enough of this. It's never enough. Elon told them to F themselves in their faces, and they got quiet and went and F themselves in their faces. There's nothing. There's nothing so far. I'll wait for it. I'll keep my eyes and ears open for it. I still haven't seen a moment when they're like, this has been too much. We'll see.
Well, I don't know, because JR, you brought up a point earlier about like, when is it going to be enough? When are they actually going to start doing anything? Lauren Boebert has done this for her entire time that she's been in Congress, and she got reelected. It was a slog getting her reelected. She had to, jump through a lot of hoops to get there, but she still got reelected. So people still reelected her into office after she has done nothing for the people of Colorado. She's trying to take credit for a lot of good things that happened, but she didn't actually do any good things for the people of Colorado. And so, like, why would she have to change her behavior? There is no incentive.
Yeah, last thing on this, Jared, don't get me wrong. There's some things that I hold out a little bit of hope on MAGA being actually anti-war stuff. I don't have a huge amount of hope on this one. And the majority of MAGA appears to be on the side of, doing these witch hunts inside of bathrooms. So it's a terrible strategy, and I hope they get burned on it. Let's protect all of us and our decency and love one another and stop getting distracted by the culture wars. All right, we got a bonus episode coming up next, and we might have some disagreement in there. We're gonna talk about Elon and the ADLs now back to criticizing him. So super interesting story. tyt.com/join to become a member, or hit the join button below. We'll see you there. Thanks for watching the Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.